They sold my grandmother's 1920s bungalow while I was scattering her ashes on the family orchard. $1. That's what the HOA board treasurer's son paid for a century of my bloodline's dreams, built from nothing but calloused hands and borrowed mules. $1 goddamn dollar. I'm standing here, wind whipping through the peach trees she planted as saplings, watching his crew with chainsaws level the wraparound porch where she rocked her babies to sleep. The chainsaw whine cuts deeper than any grief, drowning out the old hymns she'd hum while canning summer's bounty. But here's the twist they never saw coming. I'm a retired paralegal, and the title defect I uncovered didn't just unravel their scam. It gutted their entire fake empire, bankrupted the board, and landed the treasurer in a federal indictment hearing. What would you do if they swiped your roots while you mourned? Drop it in the comments. Where are you tuning in from? That quiet title loophole I exploited? It works in every state with a statute of limitations on fraud. Buckle up. This one flips the script. My name is Elias Thorne, 61, fourth-generation fruit farmer turned desk jockey after a bad back sidelined me from the groves. Up until 8 weeks ago, I figured my days would wind down right here on Willow Bend Farm, the same 15 acres my great-granddad homesteaded in 1892 outside Bakersfield, California. Gran Evelyn Thorne just folded after a brutal 3-year tango with Alzheimer's, the kind where you watch a woman who could prune a row of apricots blindfolded fade into whispers and blank stares. Those final months, I camped out in the memory care unit in Fresno, reading her the dog-eared seed catalog she'd thumbed through every spring, her gnarled fingers twitching like they remembered the soil. Weekdays, I'd shuffle papers in a dusty law office. Weekends and harvests, I'd drive the 200 miles back to mend fences and chase off gophers. Divorced twice, no heirs. This farm was my anchor, Gran's gospel, the only thing louder than the regret echoing in an empty house. Step onto that sagging porch, and the scent of sun-warmed cedar wraps around you like a half-forgotten hug. The floorboards groan underfoot in the same crooked rhythm they did when I was 6, chasing fireflies with a mason jar. You can still hear the evening crickets harmonizing with the drip of the old pump house, a lullaby that chased away childhood monsters. But a decade back, the horizon shifted. Some speculator snatched up the empty almond fields next door and birthed Suncrest Meadows, 128 cookie-cutter stuccos with HOAs baked in like a curse. Dues? $450 a month for the honor of having busybodies dictate your gutter color. The kicker? My farm's deed predates their plastic paradise by nearly a century. I'm a non-member, a ghost in their gilded cage. Their covenants? Dust in the wind to me. Envision it. My saltbox farmhouse and leaning cider barn jutting up like a weathered thumb amid a grid of beige blandness. To me, paradise. To them, a blight. To him, a goldmine. Harlan Voss, 42, son of HOA treasurer Kendra Voss, a slick mortgage broker from Modesto who slithered into our burg of Elmwood after his crypto startup tanked in 22. The type who fist bumps you while scrolling Zillow on your dime. He pilots a gunmetal Tesla, played Flip One, cause egos his co-pilot. Always sporting those ironic trucker hats like a bargain bin hipster, but his gaze is sharper than a bad check. Kendra's emails? Riddled with autocorrect fails. Her grins? Engineered for board meetings. Her mantra? Just upholding the vision. The vision she sketched, naturally. Her fixation? Uniformity, appraisals. Elevating the enclave. She'd estimated, pulled straight from her yoga mat and Redfin fever dream, that my orchard was tanking adjacent comps by $55,000 apiece. $55,000, courtesy of her intuition and a thesaurus app. While Gran was unraveling, literally her last lucid afternoon, Kendra kicked off the siege. She whipped up a resolution, alleging Willow Bend was derelict, structure's non-compliant, fruit flies a public nuisance. Total hogwash, every syllable. She snagged 112 nods from Suncrest folks who figured they were greenlighting a dog park upgrade. One widow confessed later she thought it was for pothole patches. Kendra bundled it and shoved it at the county supervisors, demanding I mitigate or divest forthwith. I clocked it the morning after Grand's memorial, soil from the columbarium still caked on my boots. And there's a violation notice zip-tied to my gatepost, tied like a takeout flyer. Then my voicemail pings. Kendra's purr, syrupy as overripe figs. Elias, dear, deepest sympathies on Evelyn. Whenever you're ready, we must chat about your parcel predicament. It's fostering some unease in the collective. Rage tasted like battery acid. That dusk, in Grand's strip bedroom, I spot a yellowed snapshot on the dresser. Us harvesting plums when I was 8, juice-streaked and laughing like we cracked the code to forever. I swore it then. Gran tilled this dirt with her spine straight. No suburban leech gets to strip the marrow. I had no clue the rot went subterranean, but school was in session. 10 days post-scattering, a registered envelope lands, invoking a phantom 1995 access accord, granting the HOA co-use of the irrigation ditch snaking my West Grove. They insist on stewardship teams invading to enhance the aqueduct aesthetic. Code for seeding fairy lights and succulents along my lifeline. Comply in 21 days or brace for remedial measures. They trot out California Civil Code Section 5975.12, which rings legit until you peek. It's for condo conversions, not century farms. Like reciting the Constitution at a bake sale. I motor to the county recorder's vault in Visalia, a crypt reeking of mildew and microwaved ramen. That eternal bureaucracy bouquet screaming, "We quit trying under Reagan." Selma, the clerk with eyes like faded ledger ink, who's notarized her weight in deeds without a blink. I request the stack, $8 a pop. For hours glaring at pixelated scans from the fax era. Paydirt, a 1995 accord existed, but for a defunct power co-op to service overhead lines. Lapsed in 2010, unrevived. Kendra's gambit? Fabricated from thin air. Grant always preached, don't swallow their yarn, spool it yourself. She meant horse traders, but wisdom's universal. Those $8 pages? Bulletproof against a $20,000 attorney tab, exposing her veneered fibs. Pro tip, when they sling codes at you, chase the source. Public archives are free-ish, factual, unflinching. Liars! Not so much. But I burrow deeper. I trigger a Public Records Act pull for all HOA County chatter. Zero cost, 14 days turnaround. The haul? Dynamite. Kendra's been tag teaming with the zoning honcho, a weasel named Tate, for 9 months. He flags her on audit windows. She syncs gripes to drop pre-inspection. A well-oiled racket. Then the email that slots the puzzle. Secure ingress, and the dominoes tumble. He'll cede or we'll claim. I parse it thrice. Claim how? My farm's lien-free since 15. No mortgage, no hook for seizure, unless they're forging one. This eclipses bullying. It's burglary in broad daylight. I'm parked curbside at the annex, tablet trembling, pulse thumping like a faulty pump. Dawn's too harsh. Reality warps. Then I glance up, gunmetal Tesla, flip one, easing into the adjacent lot's coffee kiosk. Harlan unfolds, hat cocked, linking arms with a lanky suit, county polo. Tate. They're yup-king it up, toasting oat milk lattes like victors at a rigged rodeo. The gall's poetic. They assume grief's got me addled, or I'm too hazy to connect dots. That eve, I dive into the Voss clan via open-source sleuthing, Pacer dockets, LinkedIn, Insta. All kosher if you're sleepless and seething. Harlan's kid's sister, Lila Voss, 28, slunk home post her sustainable living blog imploding in LA. She's $92,000 in the hole from holistic coaching. Certs bragged about it in a TikTok sawfest and gigs as a barista in Kendra's guest suite. Then her IG story from 4 days back ices my veins. Snapshot: Lila mid-downward dog on my south meadow, peaks framing her, my beehives blurring the backdrop. Caption: manifesting my eco-sanctuary empire. Soon, Boss Vitality Village on 15 acres of pure potential. I fixate till my eyes water. She's posing on turf my great-granddad broke with oxen. Turf grand defended from blight and bankers. Turf that's mine. This ain't aesthetics or values, it's larceny, plotted, puppeteered, profane. Next gloaming, on my ritual fence check, Grand's old patrol, flashlight in fist, I spy pink flagging tape lashed to my split rail. Each tag scrawled VVDC in Sharpen. I snap one free, and barbed wire snags a fluttering broadside like a white flag in retreat. It's a cup filing Lila Voss petitioner for a 10-unit glamping pod wellness hub on newly deeded 15-acre tract, Parcel 4C's Suncrest Meadows expansion. Parcel 4C? Fiction in Suncrest, but the meets and bounds? Mirror Willow Bend verbatim. Gusts rise, hauling scents of damp loam and wild mint, and I'm gripping that stake like a talisman as the scheme crystallizes. They're not scheming to pilfer my farm. They believe it's already theirs. No calls. No clashes. No alerts. I ring my niece Josie, a probate sleuth in Sacramento, sharpest knife in the drawer for deed dirty tricks. Her counsel? Crisp, clinical. Play possum. Let hubris haste their hands. They'll fumble. Chronicle all, snaps, logs, alibis. Forge a chronology so ironclad they'd need a blowtorch. That night, I commandeer the shed loft, tacking proofs to rafters, yarn vein timelines linking Voss emails, tape pics, app docs, the bogus accord, Lila's IG printout in vivid. My bunker berths. If they crave Willow Bend, they ford me, and I'm off the ropes. I hit recorder portals at crack o' dawn daily, thermos steaming, cursor clicking. Day 28 post ashes, anomaly flares. Quitclaim deed. Evelyn M. Thorne, deceased, to Suncrest Meadows HOA, steward for collective gain, $1 nominal, executed by Kendra Voss Pro SE forged Grand's mark, notarized at a FedEx office in Hanford, 90 miles off. My gut lurches, mug sloshes. Quitclaim shift title sans warranties. Gold for kin handoffs. Poison for cons cause recorders rubber stamp, not vet. It's archive, not audit. Kendra gained the probate lag, 3 to 9 months in Cali. She wagered sorrow'd blind me to filings. Near miss. I've got 180 days to contest. I've torched a month. I trekked to the Hanford FedEx, which twixt a bail bonds and a bail bonds sequel. The clerk, tag, Jax, 19 if a day, schemes the deed. Yeah, $10 stamps. Folks drag him in, we seal. Ain't attorneys. Cams? 45-day purge. 6 weeks toast. That night, I array Grand's all signatures across the potting bench. Will, POA, co-op receipts, 19 exemplars. I snap the fake, layer it in freeware forensics. Disparities howl. Grand's late loops wobbly from decline. The plants fluid, bold, pristine. Thaker was hale and ham-fisted. I haul the dossier to Sergeant Ruiz at the station. He pours, exhales, reclines. Elias, this screams civil title tussle. We don't touch deed fake sans DA nod. DA needs a barrister's nudge. I've got overlays, linguistics motive map. Zilch. I buy it, he says, but lawyer up. I liquidate $3,200, my nest egg, and retain Petra Lang, practicing from a Bakersfield bungalow redolent of chamomile tea and calculated strikes. Keen, early 50s, zero fluff. She vets the pile in 20. Bright side, deeds DOA. Sharp jurist torches it. Dark, reversing clocks, cash, and calendar. Motions, hearings, forensics, $50K, 2 years min. My wince broadcasts broke. She clocks it. Alternate path, feign defeat, bait their overreach, log infractions live, then avalanche M. Bolder, thrifty or brutal. She cues proprietary searches I never knew breathed. Observe, Kendra's HOA fronted your Q1 assessments, Jan Mar. Why? Quiet title ploys, pay taxes and select rights, hibernate 5 years, adverse possession flips deed. But she botched protocols, wired straight to treasurer. Gifted $2,100 to the void. 3 days on, notice to quit. Slaps my storm door. Per conveyance why, you're squatting on association assets sans leave. Evict in 48 hours or eviction. Kendra's flourish, purple gel. PS keen to negotiate your tools and trees at FME. Let's rap cordially. Chutzpah's art. I ghost. No rebuttal. No ring. Starve her ego. Instead, I buzz Marco, a paralegal pal of 20 years, wizard with legalese lattices. Nina Gate, I say. Wrought iron 10 feet, etched with reminder she'll choke on. Silence. Then Marco chuckles. Reminders how? I'm doodling on a feed sack. Ornate scrollwork, case sites woven in. The sort that brands her blunders from her breakfast nook eternally. When's go? Dawn Tuesday. Marco rolls and it falls light with his Van Cranberry bar and a smirk promising exquisite reckoning. 3 marathon days, 900-foot boundary barrier, forged steel, ebonized finish, posts to code, permits pristine. But every 40 feet, filigree spells CC section 2940.5, Callie's deed fraud clause. Crest rails twist with subtle spikes. Aesthetic only, statute safe. Ran $22,000. Every last dime. Priceless. The arc welder sizzle scorches the air, mingling ozone and orchard bloom. Marco's flame spits azure stars like defiant sprites. By Thursday twilight, Suncrest busybodies cluster curbside, iPhones aloft, capturing. The barrier rears like obsidian thorns against the gloaming. 10 feet of back off in Ferris filigree. Thursday noon, Kendra's Tesla fishtails my lane, dust devils trailing. She bails, cheeks aflame, hat askew. You can't erect that monstrosity. Breaches our design doctrine. I lower my loop, prop on a post. Not your turf, Kendra. Wasn't yesterday. She's quaking. Malice barrier. Prohibited. Malice fences flop only if spites the soul. Mine's legit, deer deter, theft thwart, intruder repel. I linger on. Intruder. Callie greenlights 12-foot AG barriers. I'm shy. Care to tape? Her jaw works fish-like. She peels out, rubber howling. 48 hours later, Auditor Hale pulls up. He paces the line, scans docs, gauges height, probes joints. No vista block. All yours. And damn, exquisite craft. Fist bump. Kendra spies from her dash a quarter-mile off, snapping furiously. Monday morn my well sputters, trickle of rust, then hiss. I trace the 80s laterals serving for parcels, valves on what Kendra dubs her swath. Someone's yoked it, fresh master lock gleaming. I log all, lat long, hasp code, chrono stamps. But no bolt cut. That's her trap, me tampering, association turf. I tanker H2O for the trees, invoice every drop. But here's the curve. Some Crest souls start sidling up. A retiree duo fidgety. We inked her res. Said it was for weed whack. No clue she eyed your acres. A millennial pair irked. Dues spiked again. Fourth hike. Kendra blames litigation. Suing you with our coin? Not suit. I clarify. Theft. Word wildfire through their next-door nest. Revolt ignites. Demands for ledgers, audits, open forums. One vet, Harlan, ex-CPA, invokes Section 5300 disclosure rights. Kendra stonewalls. Privileged exec. Harlan counters. Cali HOA code begs differ. 15 days or AG gripe. He ambles over at dusk, crisp. Your hosed. Our checks funded. Spill? We chew 4 hours. He scribes like a scribe. 12 days hence, compelled handover. Harlan reappears, briefcase bulging, expression like he unearthed a mass grave. Elias, feast your eyes. But pre-dive, Tuesday pre-dawn, my hives vanish. All 22 colonies, apiary ajar, skid marks gouged from night's drizzle to the blacktop. I alert Sergeant Ruiz. Log it. Suspects? My trail cams, solar triggered, IR glow, capture 3:15 a.m. for shadows herding boxes to a panel van. One's Harlan unmistakable, ironic hat, Tesla key fob glint under moon. Ruiz grunts. B. Russell, misdemeanor tops. But aggregate value? Felony threshold. Needs corroboration. Interviews, chains. Week out. That midnight, I dropped 4 plays. 1. Lodge quiet title action on the sham deed. Copies to Superior Court, DA, AG. 2. Collate the arsenal into a nuclear dossier. Boss volleys, picks, Harlan's forensics. 3. Leak anonym to the Elmwood Gazette. HOA heist. Forged deeds, stolen bees. 4. Rally the Suncrest rebels. Harlan fronts the math. $280,000 siphoned. Kickbacks to Tate's. Consults. Harlan's. Blips. Kendra's. Rellos. No reserves, phantom vendors. Dues diverted to a Voss Shell LLC. Board meetings. Cocktails at Kendra's Casita. The drop hits Friday wires. By noon, pickets at the gate. Voss out. Audit now. Kendra's emergency. Summit. Herself, Tate, Harlan, Lila, a token dissenter. Crumbles live on Zoom, hacked by a neighbor's kid. Harlan's caught mid-rant. Dad's cut was 30%. Screw the old man's trees. Tate blanches. We torch the easement file. Wait, off record. 72 hours later, FBI rolls in. Wire fraud, mail fraud, Rico whispers. Kendra's cupped at dawn. Silk robe askew shrieking. It's a misunderstanding. Harlan flips first. Plea for immunity. Rats the notary. His barista side hustle. Lila's pods? Vapor. My hives? Recovered from a Voss garage. Queens intact. Probate clears in 11 months. Deed voided. Farm reaffirmed. Suncrest votes Kendra's ouster 118-4. Elects Harlan to CPA press. They reimburse my water hauls, fence fees, even seed a community apiary on the common. I sell him a sliver for the bees, fair shake. Grand orchard blooms fiercer, bees drowning her old hymns. The Vossas? Kendra does 18 in Victorville for fraud. Harlan's disbarred, flipping burgers in Modesto. Lila's manifesting from a studio sublet. Tate? County leave. Folks, grief's a thief, but so is greed. Verify your deeds. Annual peak costs a latte. Say is a legacy. Rally your neighbors. Isolation's their weapon. And if they come for your dirt, build the fence. Etch the truth. Let it stand tall. What's your HOA hell? Spill below. From your town? That quiet title plays your shield. Hit your recorder tomorrow. Stay rooted. This farm's still mine.